9 years after Kim Kardashian went through that ordeal in Paris with the jewelry thieves, she is still brought to tears. Although it's not the the criminals who are bringing her to tears, it's her ex-husband. Kim, on the latest episode of the Kardashians, was talking about not just, she was getting ready when they were shooting that to go to Paris for the trial of the robbers, but she was talking about something that Kanye, and I hadn't heard this before, but this is the first I'm hearing this, something that is upsetting her, something that Kanye said about the robbery. Listen to how she describes this, and it's very clear that she is very emotional about what Kanye said.
Even my ex-husband had said, you know, and you faked your robbery for a TV show, and had said that in front of all these people. That was so like a knife to my heart. Just to think that someone wouldn't believe you is like, that's so close to you, that should know you, that should know how much that affected your life. It just really bothered me for, like, you don't know who I am. So to finally be able to go to trial and face these people and hear their, like, accounts and apologies and, like, I'm like, see, guys, it was real.
Here's the problem, I think. Number one, I have enormous sympathy for Kim with this robbery. And she really believed, rightfully, that they were going to kill her the way they acted in that apartment. So I get it. And that makes total sense to be emotional over the robbery to this day, and probably for the rest of her life. With Kanye, it's different. She, more than anybody on planet Earth, knows about Kanye's mental illness. She lived with it for a long, long time, for years, and behind closed doors had to deal with all sorts of horrendous things, because we've covered this, and there are things we haven't talked about, but I can tell you, Kim knows about that. She stayed with him for almost a year longer than she wanted to, because he was so unstable, she didn't want to cut the cord until she felt he was in a decent place. So she knows about his mental illness. So for him to say, oh, the robbery's fake, I mean, is like
and I get your point.
Par for the course.
I don't know where and when exactly he said this, but as I hear her describing it, that's the first thing I thought, that, oh, this is Kanye in the middle of an episode where he is just saying outrageous things. But to her credit, I don't know.
In 2016, the same year of the robbery, Kanye was involuntarily committed on a psychiatric hold. So she knew then he had this severe mental illness. So whenever he said it afterward, she knew he was.
And there's been lots of things he said since then that make it clear.
I tend to agree with that. She's very familiar with Kanye's mental illness, and she's dealt with it during the course of their marriage. They're married in 2014. This is 2016, and she stayed with him until very recently. What is different here is that there are things that seem out of bounds, even for Kim Kardashian. This is sort of an et tu Brute kind of moment, right? This is a betrayal of, this is something that he lived through with her. He's not saying Chris Jong-un.
He's not saying it in his right mind. And
we don't. Of course it is, Derek. And
Kim should know that.
Look, I don't want to raise really terrible issues. He talked about abortion on stage with the family.
Yes.
So he has done all sorts of horrendous things that she's had to deal with. What I'm saying is, 9 years later, when she's lived through all of this, I get that the robbery makes her emotional. It's weird to me,
but I guess.
But this revisits all that trauma for her, and it's her own person who was in the trenches.
I understand what you're saying, because
that
was my reaction as well. But maybe it's just not that simple for her to take it with a grain of salt when he says these things.
Can I say what?
Even if she knows that it's mental illness, it still hurts her to hear him say it.
I'll say one more thing.
Derek?
She seems very sincere in this, and I don't think she's a great, talented actress. I mean, we've seen her acting. I'm not taking her to task, but
this is Derek damning with faint praise. This is exactly what he does.
I've been pretty tough on her. This is too good of an acting job.
Hey, it's Emiliana from Pennsylvania. You know, just when I thought Kanye couldn't get any more unhinged, he proves me wrong on a daily basis, okay? I'm not even the biggest Kardashian fan, but hearing the details of what Kim went through in that robbery made me sick. And the fact that he even accused her, or even uttered the words for a slight second that he doubted that that happened to her, is crazy. God bless that woman, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Kim is amazing. I get it. Like,
You used a word there that I'm not going to repeat, but the C word, I think that's what it's about.